Okay, we're about to go live on Facebook. Let's see. It seems like it's working. Hello, hello, friends. It looks like we are going live on Facebook. I am here with our Financial Freedom and Joy member, Risa Gall. She is a fantastic business owner, and she's one that specializes in helping you find love and relationships that work. So thank you, Risa. I'm so grateful on how you can take your specialties with the world and turn it into a successful business. So would you like to share with us a little about yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Ren. Hey, everybody. I'm helping women who are struggling, they're unsatisfied in their relationships, or maybe you are single and you're really having a hard time finding that relationship that really is going to last and feels fulfilling to you. Just release any unhealthy patterns that may be at the root of our challenges in our relationships.
Oh my gosh. And it sounds like it's some deep work. So it's not just a matter of we're going to, be working on the other person, right? To fix
Right.
them. Because, if the relationship's not working, it better be on them.
Right.
Sounds like it's about you and your
Right.
internal work. And you mentioned
Yeah.
something about attracting relationships, or if you keep having the wrong relationships, it's like, what is it inside that can be shifted to really have some amazing growth?
Yeah. So just backing up a little bit, I'll just tell you my just quick story about me and how I got into doing this was that I was married to a man who struggled with alcoholism and depression. And I had no idea how codependent I was until all of that happened. And I can laugh about it now, but as painful as it was at the time, I'm really actually grateful for that now, because I learned so much about myself, and through the coaching support I received, how to really be in good, right, loving relationship with myself, so that I can create healthy relationships that are just built on that firm foundation of being in alignment with ourselves. And so that's really the the core essence of the work. If we all know this, right? We all hear this. If you gotta love yourself before you can love anyone else. Well, that's true, but how the heck do you do that? So that's the work.
Oh my gosh. So I'm curious, from the business owner standpoint, was this something you had been in, or was this a completely, 180? And how did you decide to make this like your core passion in business?
Thank you for asking that. Yes. So my background is actually health and wellness, and so really before I was more of a mind body stress relief expert. Studied Chinese medicine. I teach qigong and tai chi and do a lot of like mind body stress relief stuff, which I now actually incorporate into the work that I'm doing with women, and in terms of relationship with yourself and the transformational work. We know it doesn't just happen between the ears, right? So we work on all levels: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But yeah, it's really I feel like this is my true passion. This in my heart. It's my whole life story, really. It's been about, I feel like, I've just been looking for how do I be in good, loving relationship with myself. That's been like a lifelong journey, as I'm sure probably for many people. Is we all pick up these limiting beliefs, which either like just struggling with that feeling pretty much my whole life, of feeling like I'm not good enough, or there's I'm less than in some way, or what I have to say is not important. Like, we all have this stuff, it's kind of epidemic. And so I just feel like, it's really been my lifelong journey, of finding like I said, how do I love myself? How do I feel free to be who I am? And then we know that is the basis for either attracting or creating the kind of relationship that you want. Really, I always say, unless you're in right relationship with yourself, no relationship's ever going to be right.
That
And
is
we attract from where we're at, right? So it's really, it all comes back to us.
It sure does. You're sharing such good gems. Are there any like certain tips that you could share, for women that are struggling in their relationships right now?
Yeah, and I know it's difficult if you're in your relationship, you're not happy, and maybe you're struggling with that question of whether you want to stay in it or not. And so um, I would just really encourage you to take a breath and just for now, if we can get the focus off our partner, and maybe that seems counterintuitive, and it's not to say that there aren't things that would need to change, but when we focus on what's wrong, we get more of what's wrong. And so we just kind of have to just for now, if we can take a breath and take a step back and just set it down, if we can get the focus back on yourself and just even right now, what do I need to do? This is the bottom line go-to question. Anytime actually you're feeling any kind of negative emotion about anything, is you can ask yourself, what do I need to do right now to just take care of myself? Maybe I need to get up and go for a walk or take some deep breaths or eat something healthy or take a nap or just, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever you can do for self-care. But just and then just getting the focus back on yourself automatically sort of interrupts that whole dynamic, that whole energy that's happening between you and that other person, all that frustration. So I have one client, I'll just tell you a quick story, who just in our first session together, we talked about, getting the focus back on yourself and how do you do that, and what she was going to do. And just even after that one session, it shifted everything. It shifted the whole energy in the house, the whole energy she was experiencing with her partner. Because then the partner, people feel that. It's like, wow, you're showing up, you're doing what you need to fill up your own cup. It's like, whoa, she seems happier. She seems more grounded. She's not all like in my face and angry about everything that I'm doing. And so it just automatically opened the door for them to continue to connect in different ways. So don't underestimate the power of self-care and just getting the focus back on yourself. And I know for me too, like in the situation I was in, it's so easy. It's so easy to just get so focused on what's not working. And it really, what you focus on expands. And so it just, yeah, if we can just for now, take a breath and just come back to yourself and just focus on self-care just for now. Does that make sense?
Oh, you're resonating with all the
Um,
stuff that I like because it doesn't
mm,
matter, whether my people are in technology overwhelmed. It's the same
mm,
thing. A breath
mm,
and centered. And now I'm hearing in relationships, breath,
mm,
centered. And we can use that in so many places in life. So thank you for that wonderful reminder. Just, we've got this.
mm, mm. Yep, self-care first. Good for anything and everything.
That is true. What do you think the most important thing, like if somebody is wanting this elusive thing that you say, like this love that you want, it might sound too good to be true. Like, what would you be? Is it possible? What would you, yeah.
Yeah. And so if we're talking about calling in the one, you know finding that special person that you want to share your life with, it's really a reflection of where we're at inside ourselves. We're saying, yeah, love yourself before you can love anyone else. But and that attraction, like we were saying too, you attract from where you're at. And so I think that's really if you're looking to find that person, it's that's really the biggest mistake that I made, and that I see pretty much everyone making to some degree, is that we're approaching our relationships sort of from more of a place of need, or more of even just like a conditional place, not necessarily even consciously, but it's just no. And we're sort of taught this coach way too, like, two halves make a whole. Well, you're not a half a person, and you don't need someone to come along to make you whole. Like, we got to feel whole and happy with our lives and fulfilled, and so that we can come into the relationship, whether you're already in one and it's not working, or you're looking to create one, it's the same thing. When we can approach it from a place of feeling whole and in good, right alignment with ourselves, then we can attract from that place, and we can create from that place, so that we're not we're not sort of putting all these demands on our partner. And really, I always say like happiness is an inside job. And that's what I learned through that experience in my marriage. After I had gotten divorced, I was thinking about the word self-esteem, and it just dawned on me one day. It's like, oh, self-esteem. That's why they call it self-esteem, because you can only get it from yourself. But it's like, as long as we're looking for someone to fill some void in us, or make us feel complete, or yeah, I would say you're like the cake, and your relationship is like the icing on the cake. But we can't live on icing. I don't know if we can live that well. Hopefully we can live well on whatever cake we're baking here, but it's healthy cake.
That is true. The spice of life. I'm curious as far as, about relationships and people, like if they're at the point and they're questioning, like, should I stay or go? And they're struggling in a relationship, and I'm sure it's a lot with different clients and everyone's different though. Is there like a trend that, it can be saved? Is it like half and half? Like if you're at that point when you're questioning it, like, can you get it to that magic of what you want from something where you're struggling? Or almost is it just like that as you do the self work, do you find that a lot of people then find it's better to go a different direction in a partner?
Yes, such a great question. That's the question, right? That are on everyone's mind. So, yeah, it really depends on you and your situation. And what I can say about that, though, is that the research shows that if both people genuinely have some desire, and actually the research used the term fondness, even if you just still have some fondness for each other, then it's possible for things to improve. And so, especially like the two biggies that I hear people struggling with pretty much across the board are just either communication or feeling that sense of disconnection, like that lack of emotional intimacy. And I know that was certainly my experience too, both of those things. And the thing about those are actually skills that most of us just are not taught, is really constructive ways to communicate, and how do we maintain a level of intimate connection with somebody over a period of years. It takes some focused effort to be able to do that. Hopefully it's joyful effort, but it takes attention. Relationships require attention. And so, if those are the areas that you feel like you're struggling with, then it's highly possible for things to shift and change. And the thing about finding that clarity, I have what I call my relationship clarity process. And I always say, just real quick, is a relationship, it's like a dance, right? And maybe it's not so fun right now. So through the work that I do with people is then, okay, we start to get the focus off that other person, back onto ourselves, and just releasing any kind of unhealthy patterns, any limiting beliefs, so that we can get into good, right, loving relationship with ourselves and get into alignment with the truth of who we are. And clarity emerges as a natural outcome of that process, because then you can see, we also, of course, need to work on our communication skills and how we're interacting with our partner. But in general, it's like we're coming into right alignment with ourselves. And then we can see, oh, okay, now I'm dancing like this. I'm doing good dance for myself here, right? And now I can see it. Oh, is he leaning in? Is he leaning out? Can he dance with me now? And so it really becomes like an experiment. But either way, the thing that happens, you get to be happy no matter what happens, because you're already in good living relationship with yourself. Yeah. But there really is the clarity. I know it sounds like a really elusive thing, but it really is just a natural outcome of us getting in alignment with ourselves and our truth.
I
Yeah.
love that. It's the natural outcome of that alignment. And then coupled with, I loved how you brought out that it's to learn skills. So like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, like this, it breaks it down into an achievable thing that, when people get skills, you have choice. And now you can use your tools, use them on yourself. And now this new version of you is in relationship with either the same person or a new person, though it's that relationship with self that you bring then to every person you interact with.
Exactly. So then it's, what do I have to bring to my relationships versus what do I need to get from you in order for me to be happy, in order for me to feel okay about who I am. It never works well that way.
Oh, you are such a gem. Thank you for the stand that you bring in the world and the magic. I'm like, I want to ask the question, like, if you could have the magic paintbrush, and what would you be contributing to the world, that you would wish that you could just wave for everyone to be experiencing?
I just want you all to know how beautiful you are, and just to be able to feel free to be who you are, and to just love yourself, because that actually is our natural state. Just like a little child, it's just we get into our heads and we start to identify with all the stories that we picked up over the course of our life, and we all have our stuff. But just to come back to your heart and come back to the truth, and really just be able to see your own beauty, and to be able to just feel free to be who you are and be authentic and bring your gifts. And I know if you're in this group listening to Ren, you've got some heavy duty gifts that you're here to share. And so that's part of it too, is like, let's free ourselves up so we can bring what's in our heart to bring. And so I love you. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much for having me on, Ren.
Yes, you're welcome. And I also know that you have an amazing free training coming up. So, as you know, we've gotten so much value and juiciness from Risa. Let it continue, friends. I highly recommend you check out her upcoming class. And so, would you like to share a little bit more about how you help these women get the love that they're really, really after?
Yeah, definitely. If you are resonating with this, then if you want to come, we're going to take just a deeper dive into all of this. We're doing a free masterclass called The 3 Keys to Get the Love You Want. And we're going to talk about the number one mistake that women make when they're trying to get their needs met in a relationship. We are going to talk about how do you get more about how to get that clarity that you need to make the decisions that are right for you if you're struggling with that question of whether to stay or go. And how do we create healthy, fulfilling relationships that last? And so that's coming up this Thursday, November 9th. If you want to come and join us, it's going to be really powerful, transformational experiential, and just how do you free yourself from these unconscious patterns that are kind of running the show? And excited to share this empowering experience with people.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Risa. It's just a blessing to get to chat with you. We've actually met each other in real life and had hugs, and you're just an amazing business owner. Thank you so much for taking your expertise and sharing it with the world, because as much as, we help people like in my realm to make money and run their business, it's a whole part, financial freedom and joy. And a lot of that joy comes from, you can have money, and if you don't have that relationship, or your relationship is like the torture or the nail that's, stuck in your foot, it's not going to be fun. And so having this, thank you for bringing that joy, Risa, because this is like the icing on the cake, and doing that internal work is so important. And then now you can make it even more amplified and amazing, and have a beautiful person to share this experience with.
Thank you so much, Ren. Thanks, everyone.
My pleasure. Awesome. Well, the link is below, so make sure you also leave some Risa some love in the comments. It looks like we've got comments coming in. So hello, friends, and we will see you there. So we look forward to it, and make sure you connect. And if for some terrible reason you're unavailable, still register, because then that way you can know when Risa does her next class. So make sure that you connect and get in Risa's world and get that relationship that you're desiring. Bye.